right? Black Science TV 111, Osei Kufuor. I'm back at y'all again. I'm here to warn parents, mainly black women, do not allow your school to put your children on medication, so-called ADHD medication. Why? Because the children that's saying that they're hearing sounds, you have to understand that they are now being implemented by way of the universe, information that is being given to them by way of a satellite which is inside of the sun. You have to understand this. By them saying that they're hearing voices, don't let white people make you think your kid's crazy. Your children are hearing their ancestors speak to them, and white people know this, so what they do is they put them on medications that will suppress the part of the brain, the subconscious part of the brain, that will actually relate these messages to your children to help them manifest or to be who they are, so that they can reach over into other dimensions to bring back information for our next generations. So black women do not, and black brothers, if you can, do not allow your school to put your children on medication. It's not only about the incentives that they're getting, because every time they diagnose a child, that school gets a bonus or a check, or they get some type of funds allocated to that district. So they're not only benefiting physically, but they're benefiting spiritually. These are vampires you are dealing with. So when they tell you that your child is hearing voices and they need to get a check, or that they are special, but not in a way where we have to degrade them to elementary systems. We have to now start listening to our children. When they say they're hearing voices, when they say they're seeing things, you have to treat them, let them meditate, unplug all the negative electromagnetic waves from inside of your house, the microwaves, the televisions, all of that stuff, because right now our ancestors, which is a form of information and energy, is trying to come through our children. These are the new African bodies that we're giving birth to, but white people want you to think that something is wrong with your children, and when you give them that medication, it shuts down the subconscious part of the brain, where that energy and information that the spirits or our ancestors is trying to give to them to help them to develop into higher dimensions or beings, is subduing that energy. So you can't let white people do that to our children. It's time to wake up. They know that we are metamorphosizing into something. Like when you see in television, when you look at the Power Rangers and you're seeing a lot of this stuff that's going on, this stuff is not just for play. They are actually speaking through code with one another to show that this is the type of superiority that we have as melanated people or species. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is we have to protect our children. If your child is telling you that they're hearing voices, that's a good thing. It's just like an autistic child. An autistic child is on two dimensions at one time. We on the lowest of the low, so therefore they don't even deal with us like that. This is why they so powerful, because they have so much spiritual strength by way of communicating with two dimensions at one time, that is actually giving a boost to their physical strength. Autistic children, is nothing wrong with them. They are communicating on a higher frequency than we are. Do you get what I'm saying? So what looks handicapped to us when we see autistic children, they see us as being autistic. It's just like when nature see us today, acting like homosexuals and faggots. You know what I mean? Seeing us, go to church, praying to God, doing this. Nature don't do that. They look at us and say, "What the hell is wrong with y'all? Who the fuck are y'all praying to? Go and try to sit beside a bird and tell them let's pray. They're gonna look at your ass like you crazy." So the thing is, we supposed to be over nature, but nature has so far succumbed to us that now, when they look at us, they see us as being handicapped. There's nothing wrong with autistic children. We look at nature as being handicapped. We look at nature as something that we're supposed to be over, but not knowing that nature is teaching us. Just because you hear the birds tweaking and the dogs barking and the cats meowing, they are communicating on a higher form of communication than we are. They are communicating on a higher level, on higher dimensions. Do you get what I'm saying? The plants communicate with each other on a higher. We are handicapped to plants. We are handicapped to birds. They don't read religious books. They don't practice homosexuality. And if they do, it's genetically engineered that way. I hear a lot of people say, well, animals do, you have to. Yes, it's engineered that way. But that's not natural. That's not the natural order of things. So mothers, when our children is hearing voices, they are actually coming back in tune with a fragment of their self that was here with them in a past life, and it needs to get back to them. But when you allow the teachers or the vampires to give them Ritalin and so-called ADHD medication, what you're doing is you're creating counterfeit spirits to subdue their true spirituality, to help them reach over into other dimensions. So stand up for your children. All right? Osei Kufuor, Black Science TV 111. I'm out. Peace.